Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I was thinking about bravery and self-confidence, and do you ever notice when you're taking time for yourself in your life, or if you're doing well, or the people that would maybe not want to excel in areas where you excel, they just sometimes enjoy trying to bring you down. Like, okay, say, like, yeah, I have self-confidence. To me, I'm all that in a bag of chips, you know what I mean? But you got these people, men and women, that because you distribute or distribute, yeah, you exhibit self-confidence and bravery. It's like they'll do everything within their power to try and either cause you fear or try and uh, undermine your self-confidence, because even though if they have it, you know, and see, I'm not conceited like that because I've always thought everybody was cute until sometimes when they open their mouth, sometimes the cuteness goes away. But I've also noticed that a lot of times in my life, at first, men will sort of hate me because of my strengths and my self-confidence and confidence and my bravery. And then if they get to know me and I'm their friend, they find out, gee, it's kind of nice to have somebody that's not a weakling. I mean, yeah, I'd love for somebody to actually stand up for me one time in my life, because I do stand up for other people. I am brave like that. I mean, fearless? Yeah, pretty much. Because I've recognized that even the biggest monsters have a weak spot. You just find where their weak spot is. That's where you attack. Well, see, they're not attacking my weak spots. They're attacking their weak spots when they come up on me. It's like, no, that's not gonna change how I feel about myself. It's, might change how you feel about yourself if you think that you took a strike at me um with your words or whatever, and you think that that brought me down, and in all reality, the people that do that to other people, they're the ones that end up getting the strike upon themselves, and then they get even madder because it doesn't work with you. I'm trying to uh, Yeah, I sort of put my hair in a bun. There's a lot of hair. It's pretty heavy to put up there. I could put pins in it and stuff, but yeah, just do something different for today. So, um, but yeah, I've just been thinking about the so many times. I mean, just thousands in my life now. People that just cannot handle my bravery and my strength. It just, um, I don't know. Like I say, at first, a lot of men, they're like, um, she's like masculine or something. And then they find out that's not what it is at all. It's because I never had anybody to protect me or take care of me. I had to do this by myself. Didn't matter if I was afraid or even when I was a little kid. What's fear got to do with it? Nobody cared. People still don't care. So, really, in this world, aside from dying, if that's your biggest fear, What are you afraid of? Who are you afraid of? You know? Really? Fear's just not my thing. In fact, if I get startled, if you scare me, you're going to see ferocious. I cannot handle it. I just cannot perceive another person trying to instill fear in another person. When that happens to me, you just opened a porthole to hell. I'm serious. What comes out of me is going to be so unexpected. And it has been with people. I will not sit by and let anybody do that to people in front of me. So, yeah. I don't know about you. Maybe you're that way too. Be like, boo. Okay, I jumped, then what? You know? Just at that moment, it's like, it's not the reaction people think, you know? Ever had great big people screaming in your face? Or worse, you got to deal with it. What are you going to do? Call the cops? What if you don't have a phone in your hand on speed dial when you're going to get killed? Better do something about it. So that's what I was thinking about as far as bravery and self confidence. And there's a lot of people that walk around with pride, but really, what are they proud of? Do they have that self confidence? And if they do, is it backed by integrity or is it prideful emptiness? You know? Cheers, everybody. It's pretty full. I'm sitting there shaking. Ah. Um, yeah, my outdoor kitty it was an accident, but she just spilled a whole cup of coffee on Doug's desk and his pants were all wet and everything. It was an accident. She was cuddling him, so um yeah, anyway. But oh, for the record, if anybody's around my state and you're a friend of mine, I'm considering, I mean, I don't have to because right now my other room is full of stuff that I have to get out of there and I don't have a bed in there. But I am thinking about getting a tent with the tarp over it, or I could even put it in my horse's barn for extra protection, but like close to the bonfire, and I have a great big thick foam mattress and sleeping bags and brand new extra pillows and whatever. So if people are around my area, you are more than welcome anytime. Um, as far as my food, my cigarettes, my herb, you know, showers, whatever I have is for you too. And I would just say, there's my refrigerator, eat whatever you want to eat. I may not cook for people, but like there would be quick stuff and I mean, I would probably make a great big giant barbecue or something. I cook like once a day. I eat once a day. But if somebody's here, I'm going to make sure that there is everything you could even ever want at any time. So just wanted you to know that's how I treat people when they're my guests. But anyway, uh, then I was thinking if the mosquitoes are bad, we wouldn't want to really get too far in the woods. I mean, this time of year, yeah, or even in the fall, but not in the middle of summer. Yeah, we can put a lot of bug spray and go hiking and stuff. And then there's different places, like locally, that have some really nice trails and that type of thing. But this is pretty wild around in here. It's pretty, and it's wet. a lot of water. So, but I was thinking if somebody did come, I would even put a fan in the run an extension cord so you could have like uh charge your phone and have a fan in there to keep the bugs off you, that type of thing. So maybe a cooler, you know, set it up nice for people. So, um, like a couple, two or three people maybe at a time wouldn't be horrible, but not a whole group of people. But, like if you and a friend or whoever are traveling through my state, whatever, and I like you and you like me. I mean, even with Doug, he'd love to have company too, especially if it's a guy. I probably wouldn't even get a chance to talk to you once he started talking. I'm serious. And free hugs for everybody. Yeah. Doug's a hugger too. He'd hug you, you know. He might not like you, but he'd hug you. He really would too. He's got this kind of like me, only worse. He's got this love-hate relationship with people. Um, he's still a narcissist, so the more you make him feel like the king, the better he's going to feel, and of course around his own home. But yeah, no, you're still welcome here. Anybody is. People always have been until they've crossed the line. I've had ones like that, but I don't expect anybody that would be listening to me not to have um what's the word, like to be like to not be a decent human being. I'm pretty sure that you are, you know. So I got reported for um talking about burying my ego, and some guy's mom had died on 420. And I told him I had been an orphan. I mean, I can relate to missing a mom, but you should have capitalized your mom, MOM. Hey, just saying, out of respect, for her. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying maybe next time if you're watching. And no, YouTube didn't think that I was out to try and hurt somebody, you know. So, and some of us have buried plenty of people. So, um, it's not my nature to hurt people. But if you want to nitpick on a language that we use to describe different terms and what we're going through, there is no other word for the severity of putting your ego under a rock, so to speak. So, and then I don't know if this person believes in eternity or that maybe his mother's energy, perhaps he'll connect with her again. I have no clue what your beliefs are, but it was not my intent. Two things that are not my intent: to hurt anybody emotionally or to coddle whiny babies. Got it? So YouTube didn't think it was an infraction either. And I don't know how old this person is, but you really got to get a grip, guy. Really have a little bit of, if not compassion for people, um, self-respect. You know, you could have said, this this hurt me. Would you change it? And I would say, no, I wouldn't change it, but like I did say, I'm sorry for your loss. And I am, you know. But no, I won't change it. That's the word that needed to be there. It's like when you like the word RAPE that we have a hard time even expressing on this platform, and people that have had that happen to them, um, we have to get over the fact that people will use language like they go in and rape the land of its wealth. You know, there's different terms in our language that people use, and that's the appropriate language for what it is, you know, period. So get over it. This isn't a cupcake world. It's a wicked, cruel, cold ass world where you live, you learn your lessons, and hopefully you'll die with your dignity, you know? And I really do care, but it's just the fact that I'm not cared about because it would have been approached a little bit different, you know? Because I've had a fight over that RAPE thing concerning land and not people. And it is offensive in that respect. So I can kind of get where you're coming from, but I still got to get over it enough for people to be able to express what they're talking about. I mean, why argue about it, right? Just because something happened to me doesn't mean that a person using that language is trying to offend me personally. Although they might be, but that's that's not who I am. Yeah. Well, I went just about a month with no sugar, and then a few days ago, Doug brought home a cake, and we weren't going to eat it, and we put it in the freezer, and then I did have a piece one night. It almost killed me. And then, and it was good too. It was a chocolate birthday cake. And then I waited a couple days and I had another piece last night. And now it's gone, which is good because Doug had some for breakfast yesterday and some last night. And now it's out of the house. And I'm glad. Boy, that was rough when you haven't had sugar for a while. And I know, like, even when I was younger, I went a long time, decades, with no sugar. Or if I did, it would be like maybe once a week I'd have some kind of dessert or something, but I was always really careful. Yeah, I'm getting back to where I notice that it doesn't make me feel good when I eat sugars and fats and all that ish, you know. Because this past winter now I was into baking some cakes because I wanted to make a lemon one, I wanted to make a carrot cake, and a spice cake. And I did those. So that was enough. So yeah. Anyway, do you know what I mean though, as far as going back to the point where people will try and attack you on purpose when you display strength and self confidence, you know? they'll try and break you even harder because of it, you know? It's like, wow, that's all you got? You actually don't have the self-confidence. The people that would try and break that in other people, they're scared little creatures that don't think very highly of themselves, or they wouldn't be trying to do that to other people, you know? But a lot that I see in my life and that people think that they're using it as a control mechanism to me is the word, what would the word be? Exclusion, excluding me from the group that they're in, you know? Don't even talk to me because why? Yeah, I'm different. It's not that I need a whole group of people to like me or anything, but it's just the dark force energy that controls them, and they know it, and I know it. And where does it get them? It really will come back to them in the end, you know. It's just like, okay, I have this theory that there's two main characters of the dark force and the evil force in men. And if them two forces were able to come together under one meeting space and exchange energies instead of battling each other, that that would be some kind of magical dream that I have inside me. Yeah, because I've been battling the dark cabal um, by myself for a long time in different ways that nobody may have recognized. And that's okay too, but it is actually a real thing. And yeah, it is. It's real. And that's my bravery. That's where I won't back down because once I've had fear put in me, and then my shame as a warrior comes up in there, that's a feeling that I'm not going to let people live that down. So I'm going to deal with it. And that's the way I handle things like that, you know? I had somebody, oh, over on in a Facebook group that Doug has called Patriots Unite. There was this one guy over there that was asking me if I knew anything about the Masons and or Jesuits or whatever, and that he had tried to join them, and they were a bunch of filthy jerks that should be pushed down the stairs, is what he said. Um, for the most part, I agree. I do believe there are, people can redeem themselves from stupid things that they've done in their life just by standing up to whatever that may be. But the thing is, if you haven't done anything and you have people coming against you, wouldn't you want to find the leader of that group and confront that person on a personal level? Why deal with the underlings when you can find the big dog and put a collar on it and a chain and a leash, you know? Maybe build it a kennel with a nice big house, you know? If it's gonna be a dog, you know? But that's how I operate, and that's what I'm doing. And really, I've heard people like, okay, say like if you're selected or chosen or however people view themselves in the world, um, to do certain tasks on a mission, to help other people. Um, are we actually a blueprint or a human with coding inside us that other people don't have those codes? And if they don't, um, is anything we say or we do going to help enlighten them, really? Or are we just talking to the other ones on that very same level? I don't know that people are actually reachable and teachable beyond maybe what is actually coded within them. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not them, so I don't know, you know. Just a second. Yes, it is Sunday all day. Yeah, he was singing Just Another Manic Sunday. Wish it were Monday this morning. So, yeah, I like that song, Manic Monday. Good song. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow. Maybe I'll play it later. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know why, but I was thinking of a couple of Metallica songs yesterday that I played. So, um, well, that one kid was talking about death the day before, so I had played Die, 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 My Darling. Or it's called Die, My Darling, I think, by Metallica. But it's not what you think, and it's the same with The Memory Remains. Um, it's about a little tin goddess that gets old, but she's still talking to God. Um, yeah, and how upside down this world really is and mixed up and that type of thing. So, anyway, esoteric stuff in there. Yeah. I like James Hatfield's snarly looks and growls and screams and stuff. You know, it's not over the top like some metal bands. It's just right. You know what I mean? You don't have to bark loud or growl. In fact, usually before a predator strikes, they're not really growling. They're ready to pounce. They don't really say anything. They just pounce, So I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's probably about it for today. I just wanted to talk about bravery and self confidence, and no amount of people excluding me or putting me down or trying to instill fear in me. None of it's going to work. I mean, people that are worthy and strong enough, if they're not weak, they're not going to exclude me. They're going to include me. And those are the only people I want around in my life. If you're brave enough, there's some people that are afraid to get near me because they're not strong enough within their own willpower to overcome Doug. But he'd laugh his butt off if you were that brave. Might not like it, but he'll still laugh. But yeah, I mean, if you think you're some kind of magical being, um, prove it. I can. In that respect, hell yeah. So what are you waiting for and what are you afraid of? There's nothing to fear but fear itself and maybe your own reckoning that you aren't as mystical as perhaps that you think, or there's a stronger force than you. Ah, I would never concede to such a thing. No, no. Uh-uh. Somebody either walks beside me with that amount of strength, even if they're a pure ass evil narcissist. At least a narcissist believes they're God. They believe they're king, even if they didn't merit it. But at least that self confidence. But is it really? Yeah. So if I haven't built up your confidence and your tolerance for fear, um, take my word for it. You'll feel better about yourself the minute you walk out this world fearless like that, you know. And if somebody does get the jump on you and they instill a moment of fear, turn that into rage from what they tried to do to you. You know, doesn't have to be real bad or nothing, and it can be energy directed rage like that. Yeah, use it. But anyway, all right, everybody, have a really beautiful night or day wherever you're at. Thank you for joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.